Oblivion is a role-playing game set in the imperial province of Cyrodiil, which is in Tamriel, the world of the Elder Scrolls. And the plot is basically the Emperor and his sons are being chased by assassins and eventually killed by assassins. And before he dies, the Emperor entrusts you with finding his lost heir, this illegitimate son he had that was sent away basically at birth. And you have to find him and place him back on the throne. The Emperor in Tamriel basically serves as this living barrier between the world of Tamriel and Oblivion, which is the plane of hell in the Elder Scrolls. So without an Emperor, a true heir on the throne, the gates between these two places open and the demons from Oblivion start invading Tamriel and wreaking havoc. And they will continue to do so until you find his son and get him on the throne. So you're not playing the hero of the world, you're the right-hand man who is going to be the hero of the world, the one guy who can actually save the world, because it's definitely not you. The Elder Scrolls is all about sort of creating whatever kind of character you want and role-playing the kind of character that you want to be. So we've got 10 different races. They're all the classic races from the previous Elder Scrolls games. So whether you want to play a warrior as, say, an orc, or an imperial, or play more of a magic caster as a high elf or a dark elf, each of the different races brings different attributes and abilities. Not only what are they good at, so Imperials may be better suited for heavy armor and swords, where a high elf might be better at magic. Orcs are good at smashing things. So their skills and attributes are going to be skewed towards those types of things. Orcs are going to be stronger, wood elves are going to not going to be able to carry as much. They also have natural abilities. So for example, an Orgonian comes with a high resistance to things like disease and also has the ability to breathe underwater naturally. So anytime you play an Argonian and you go underwater, your breathe meter always stays full because it's just an inherent ability. Orcs get a berserk ability that gives them a powerful attack. Imperials use the voice of the Emperor, which is the ability to charm somebody once a day to get them to like you better. So each race has different attribute boosts as well as special abilities that they get to use throughout the game, and you learn about those as you go through character gen, and we also cover them extensively in the manual. There's an awful lot of them, so you know, do a little bit of reading before you create the character you want to play. Oblivion is about 16 square miles in size. Morrowind was in the 9 to 10 range, as I recall, so it's definitely a bigger world than Morrowind. We changed the scale in every game in terms of how big the world space is. And it's not just how big the world is, but it's how lived in it is, how much stuff there is to do as you travel from one place to another. So there are 8 major cities in the game, but then there are lots of smaller towns and settlements, a tavern here, things like bandit camps, Iliad ruins, ruined forts, stuff that you can find and explore throughout the world. So there's over 200 different locations you can find as you explore around the world. In terms of how long it takes to explore and play the game, the main quest is about 20 to 25 hours if you pretty much stick to the main quest. There's 4 different guilds you can join, and you can join all 4 of them. Each of those basically serves as a main quest unto itself. There's also the arena, so you can join the arena and become a gladiator in the arena and become the arena grand champion. There are miscellaneous quests in every town. There's over 200 dungeons. So in terms of total gameplay to play the entire game, it's well over 200 hours. It essentially, since it never ends, you could just play it forever. I mean, there's people who have played Morrowind for 1,500 hours, and that's, you know, once again, that's entirely possible in Oblivion. It just goes and goes forever. As far as the PC and the Xbox 360, they are similar content-wise, so the game is exactly the same. Both of them have all of the same stuff in it. From a performance standpoint, the 360 and a high-end PC that has, you know, one of the latest, greatest video cards, an ATI 1900, they'll play about the same performance-wise, visually. You know, it'll look about the same. The PC obviously comes with a whole lot of sliders and options that you can turn on and tweak so that you can change the draw distance or what shadows are on and off, or all kinds of things that let you customize your performance, so that not only does it allow you to customize your level of performance now, but as technology develops, as new cards come out that are even more powerful, you can slide those things out and throw your draw distance out even further, or turn even more options on the PC and customize the experience even further. The soft shadow thing was basically an old system that we had wanted to try and use in the game but couldn't. So those are gone. They don't exist. It's not a button waiting to be turned on. But more in terms of, you know, whether you have shadows, whether grass has cast shadows, things like that. And those are things that you can turn on but are going to affect your performance to some level based on what kind of card you've got. So so we move different sliders in and out so that your game performance is set at a reasonable level based on what your system is set up as. Horses really serve a couple of purposes for us. Number one, they're kind of a prestige thing. So much like owning a house, you can own a house in any city in the game. Horses are something that you have to get a lot of gold together to buy. There's 5 different kinds. Each different type of horse has a different speed that it'll run at. It has a different health level, so if you're prone to going up into the mountains and jumping off of cliffs with a horse, tougher horses will take more damage before they die. Or if you get caught in a fight out in the wilderness and bears or wolves start attacking your horse, they're better able to defend themselves and they'll live longer before they get killed off. So one side of it is a prestige thing, and the other side is simply faster exploration. As you go out into the world to complete quests or to explore the world and find new places to go, new dungeons to explore, you can get there faster on a horseback than you can on foot. So it sort of serves 2 purposes. You can't fight on horseback, so whenever you get into a combat situation, you have to get off your horse in order to fight. We found that just grossly imbalanced the combat system that we had developed by allowing somebody to basically ride around on horse and smack guys with a sword and take off. So it serves its purpose. It's a lot of fun to own them. You can own more than one, and we're looking at doing downloadable content stuff for things like horse armor, so that you can go and buy a small downloadable plugin that allows you to outfit your horse with cool armor. So as you're getting to be this cool buff hero that's got really great armor, you can have a horse that is appropriate for your cool buff character. I know exactly when the game is coming out, but we haven't announced it yet. We hope to do that within the next week or 2. It's in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to pinpoint it, but we'll be announcing it very soon. The game is definitely in its final stages, and we're very eager and ready to get it out there and let people get their hands on it. For us, it's been a very long road, almost 4 years. So we are definitely coming to the end.